I'm hoping for you, you won't come out of that parking lot.
She pulled in with donuts. Can you help me with all this stuff? I got donuts.
But I came here, no one was here. The dogs are all in the kitchen.
Hi, Mom.
Namanda, 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 Namanda.
Good morning and welcome to our Eitaikyo and Nirvana Day Service. My name is Michael Bailey and I will be the chairperson today. Now we will have Sambujo on pages 24 and 25, followed by the reading of the Hyo Byaku Mon.
occasion of the Eitaikyo Service and Nirvana Day Service, members of the temple families have reverently come before Amida Buddha in memory of their beloved. With deepest reverence and thankfulness for the all-embracing wisdom and compassion of Amida, we reaffirm the three homages. Namo Kie Butsu, Namo Kie Ho, Namo Kie So. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Please repeat the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, 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 Namanda.
Now we will have Sambujo on pages, oh no, I'm sorry. Now we will have Sutra chanting Butsu Ge on page 79. Please stand for the Gatha, Nembutsu, on the white book on page 99, and remain standing for the reading of Meditation number 4 in the purple book on page 17.
Please switch books, purple book, page 17, number 4. Altogether, as the sun shines upon the earth, awakening into growth the seeds that lie dormant in the soil, may the light of wisdom shine into our minds and truly awaken us to our ignorance and by this insight stir us to strive for a life of deeper understanding and enlightenment. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Right. Thank you. Please be seated.
Reverend Fujimoto will explain the Eitaikyo to us and read the names entered into the Eitaikyo book.
Good morning, everyone. Ohayo gozaimasu. Okay, so today is our very special Eitaikyo service, and I'll explain this a little as we go, but we have two additions to our Eitaikyo Registry. We have an Eitaikyo book that's kept on the altar, and we add names as they are requested to be placed there. Today we would like to have Mr. David C. Dye. Please come up and offer incense, the calling of the names. We have two names, so Mamie, please come up. Hi. And Marilyn Ishida Lu, Shakujo Shin. Please come up. Okay, thank you very much. Each year we let everyone know the new additions of the names, and we send out invitation and ask them to come to the service. And so I'll just go into our Dharma message today to explain this Eitaikyo service. And so Eitaikyo, the character, Chinese character for A means eternal, Tai means generations. Okay, so and Kyo is sutras. So A, the character for A is, if you look at it, symbolizes a river and all the tributaries that connect to the river that would flow on endlessly. And generations means this generation and the next and the next. So like the river flowing, the generations continue, and we chant. Kyo means the sutras, so we chant the sutras in perpetuity. So this will go on and on for generations and generations to come. So I think it's a very pretty thought that we include someone that's been dear to us, and then a nice way to remember what they have meant to us, what the temple has meant to them. Okay. And so this is the background at the Eitaikyo. One funny story is, the 2nd of March, we'll have the BCA Eitaikyo service that it's going to be, everyone is encouraged to participate and view. And so Bay District is in charge, and we've been working on this Eitaikyo service and all the meetings for the National Council. And part of it, we've been meeting first every couple months, and then every month, and now every week we're meeting to get everything ready. And Bradley Menda, who's in charge of these meetings, he has utilized AI, artificial intelligence, to transpose the meetings, so he'll have record to go back to see what we discussed, keep everybody up to pace. So he provides this to everyone, and so we're able to see what we talked about at the meeting before. So preparing for the Eitaikyo service, AI doesn't know Eitaikyo. Right? You guys know because I just explained it, but they don't know. So when it gets transposed, it says the Taiko service. And so I was wondering I'm reading the notes, Taiko service. I don't remember talking about a Taiko service. So I asked Bradley, is there a Taiko? Did I miss something? Am I supposed to be preparing a Taiko service too? Right? But no, it's Eitaikyo. Eitaikyo. So that's something funny that's been happening recently. So along with the Eitaikyo service is a special Eitaikyo fund. So when names are included into our list, the family provides a nice donation to the temple, and these funds are kept separately. And the purpose of the funds is to make sure that we have this very nice altar and other things that might become necessary to be able to maintain the temple, maintain the teaching, so that it can go on for this generations after generations. Okay, so this is how the Eitaikyo Registry and the donations work. And so we have this registry, this book, special book up here, and it's kind of like a calendar book. So January 1, 2, 3, and on through the year. So if someone were to pass away, so today is the 9th, the 10th, and we look at that page, and then there'll be a name on that. So every morning, these names are acknowledged. The morning service are done in the honor of the person on that page that day. Okay. Then we come to this Eitaikyo service, and this is a annual service, the Eitaikyo service here in Alameda. We have it every February, and so this service is to be dedicated in special memory to these people that were included recently and to everyone in the book. Okay, so this is the background to the Eitaikyo. So if you have someone that you would like to have included in the Eitaikyo, kind of similar to Shotsuki, but it's also very different. But to think that the chants are done, the temple is maintained for generation after generation. Sometimes the family will be gone. Everyone has passed away, or maybe they've all moved out of the area and they don't come here anymore. But to remember that they were essential people while they were here to keep this temple going. The family knows, the family friends know that they are maintained in this book. The sutras are chanted for generations to come. Okay. So today is also our Nirvana Day service, and we remind ourselves of the passing of Shakyamuni Buddha. So he lived as a human being, and then when he passed away, it is said that during his life he awakened two truths of reality, but not until he finally loses his physical form did he pass into nirvana. Okay. So when we remind ourselves of the story, we're connecting ourselves. We find our place in this story of Buddhism as it moved from the life of Shakyamuni Buddha, passing through history, all these countries it has touched, all these disciples coming all the way to Alameda, coming to Pacific Avenue and touching each of us. So we connect ourselves. We become part of this story. So when the Shakyamuni Buddha was getting ready to pass away, he said to his followers, "Those who live must die. This is nature's way. Death is coming to me soon, but you must not continue to be sad." Okay, so initially we lose someone and we grieve, we feel sad, but hopefully he's encouraging us, don't continue to be sad. Notice the truth of this, that everything must die, and this is nature's way. So the Buddha went to the river, he bathed himself, cleaned himself off, and his disciples made a nice place for him to lay down beside the river. And so death was approaching the Buddha, and the senior leader, disciple, Ananda, you might recognize his name from some of the chants we do, Ananda, one of the senior leaders, and he came and said, if anything should happen to you, who should we depend on? And he started to cry, thinking he's going to lose his great teacher. And the Buddha told him, don't cry. As I've always said, You know, everyone must depart from their loved ones. All living things must die. My death is only natural. This is why you must not continue to grieve. Initially you grieve, but you don't continue to grieve. After I die, don't depend on what I have left you. Depend on yourself. Okay? So death is coming even closer, and he's laying there, and more of his disciples and dear people are coming closer. He says, is there anything you want to ask me while you have this chance? And no one said anything, but you could hear them quietly crying. Okay. Okay, it's so quiet. What is the sound? And he's noticing, and calling others' attention to the sound of the river flowing by. And so the disciples said, it's the sound of the water flowing in the river. And the Buddha said, I see. The river flows continuously, but the water flowing now is not the same water that was flowing here yesterday. The flow of the universe is the same. All things must change. You must all continue to put effort into realizing this truth so you don't get left behind in this changing world. So these are his thoughts to his disciples as he was passing away. And when I think of that, you know, sometimes we get left behind. Something might happen and we not able to get caught up, right? Now I was thinking, that happened to me in college. I signed up for a class and something happened. I got ill. I couldn't go to the class for 2-3 weeks. And when I went back, I was so far behind. I said, oh my goodness, I can't catch up, right? And so I got left behind. I ended up dropping the class because there's no way I could catch up. And so this is kind of like this. He's saying, we don't want to get left behind in life. So be aware of this interchanging, always changing. Everything changes. So one of the final things they asked them, disciple asked the Buddha, what is the most valuable thing in this world? In this world, to awaken to the Dharma is the most valuable thing. What good deeds will bring us peace and joy? The action of virtue, virtuous qualities will bring us peace and joy. What is the most beautiful taste of tastes in this world? The most beautiful taste of tastes is the truth. How do you live to attain the highest life? The highest life is to live by wisdom and compassion. And these were some of the final words that the Buddha left before he passed away. So today I have another story for you, a third story, okay? And this is a story that just happened yesterday, story number 3. So some of you have just heard this, right? I shared it with the Dharma School class. And story number 3 is a running story, just happened yesterday. And I was running yesterday morning and I crossed paths with Fletcher. So he's running. Okay, this is Kimberly's older son. He's running on the path right next to the beach, on the street next to the beach. He's coming this way, I'm going this way. I've never seen him out there running before. I didn't know he ran. You know, I thought he's 7 years old or something, but no, he's out there staying in shape and everything. So he's running this way, I'm running this way. Finally, we get close enough to recognize each other. His eyes perk up. Right? And I say, hey, hey. And we just pass. I don't stop to talk. He doesn't want to talk to me. We just recognize each other. So, right? And I'm going on. I'm like a mile to the, less than a mile, 3/4 mile to Sushi House. And then I head up the hill to come back here. And he's going the opposite way. Okay? And it's not a big deal. Those kind of things happen all the time, right? Sometimes we hear about people, you know, just came back from Japan. I was in Japan, and you know who I saw? I was crossing the street to Honganji, and there's Jane Naito, right? I went shopping in Tokyo at the shopping mall. There's Michael Endo. You know, who would have thought? So these kind of things happen all the time. We all have that kind of experience, right? Not a big deal, but it kind of is, right? Usually I run at 5:30 in the morning. Okay, I don't see too many people. Usually I go to the water, to the beach, and I'm running on the sand. So even fewer people out there. I'm not on that asphalt pathway. Okay, so because I've been having pain when I wake up, this sciatica. So when I get up in the morning, I'm holding my dresser on the wall just to get my way down and wake up, and it hurts. But after an hour and a half or two, I feel okay. I could come to work, I could run up the stairs, I could run. So because of this, I've been running later. I went at 7:30 instead of 5:30. And that allows us to meet, right? And I go to the beach and I'm running along the beach, but the water's up, so there's less sand to run on. I'm close to the bushes, run close to the volleyball courts, and I know it's going to get tight when I get to the flagpole. So I get to the flagpole and the shed over there, and the water's crashing against the rocks and the wall, so I can't go through. So I climb up and go up to the asphalt path, and I go through the park, and then I'm coming back and I do my run. And so when I'm getting towards the last 3/4 mile, there's Fletcher, right? Just pass him. And in that moment, it happens to all of us. But in that instance, right, I'm not thinking about my breathing or my stride or the pain in my butt or any of these things. But, you know, I'm thinking beyond myself. Just at that moment, hey, and I'm in that connective tissue between me and other. Huh? Think about that, okay? Why was I there? All these circumstances had to happen. Then we think about, how did your parents meet? And you know, mom and dad met while they're in college and they fell in love. But if you ask more stories, there's more stories, more details, right? Just so many things had to happen for them to be able to meet. Maybe almost they didn't meet, right? Maybe she was in love with someone else, but something happened. You know, we don't know. Everyone has a different story. And the same kind of things with grandma, grandpa on each side, and it goes on and on. Every instance. When I tell people of how I met Charmin, I tell the story of going to Ontario and there's a welcome party. They wanted to know if I would be the next minister. And I always tell this story, and it's kind of everyone, I said, yeah, Charmin wasn't there at the party. She dropped off her parents and she came back at the end just to pick them up. And I noticed her, hey. And the story is that I noticed her right away because she's the only one at the party who wasn't 85 years old. And everybody goes, ah, ha, 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 right? Everyone laughs. But what if she wasn't there? What if she didn't pick up her parents, right? I might have married one of those 85-year-old ladies, right? They'd be like 112 now, and my whole life would be different, right? But every single thing happens like that in our lives. So when we say Namo Amida Butsu, it's bringing us, we call it the call of the infinite, right? The call of Amida, wisdom and compassion, calling to us, stepping beyond the self-centeredness and out. So when I saw Fletcher, my attention, awareness is not here, it's there in this connective tissue between me and the infinite. Okay? Think about that. Namo Amida Butsu is calling us all the time to get us outside of our shell, our ego-centeredness, to touch aspects of this infinite. And it's calling us all the time. Fletcher was a part of the voice of Amida. Maybe to him, I was a part of the voice of Amida. We step beyond our self-centeredness. Hey, and it goes on. But everything happening in our lives happens like that, right? Every single instance, every single moment. And this is why we're saying the Nembutsu, this is how it works. It's not magic words saying you're going to get rich. It's not anything like that. It's an extend your awareness. And some people have this awareness extended naturally, right? The Buddha came to this, extending further. Maybe you could say other people. Martin Luther King had this awareness beyond himself, seeing the needs, concerns of others. Mother Teresa, right? Extended awareness. People that we recognize are not so self-absorbed, self-concerned, but they live in this connective tissue. And we come to live in this connective tissue. This is what the Nembutsu does. And then our lives become deeper and fuller and more connected. Because we're not just self-absorbed, we're connected to this infinite reality. Okay? I think that's a great example of the Nembutsu. So, oh yeah. But you think about it, okay? Think about it. You tell me, what do you feel? What do you see? What do you recognize? You tell me today or tomorrow or 10 years from now. Okay, okay. So when we come to the Eitaikyo service, we're able to recognize the ways of the temple, the ways of the teachings, and we come to see that it's a very special thing, a very special place, a very special teaching. So it's a place that's worth supporting, a place worth keeping. So we have these Eitaikyo donations and registry and all of these things, and a place, a special place that elevates us, elevates all of human life. That's what happens here, okay? And the Eitaikyo is a reminder of this legacy that we are a part of. We come here, we share stories, and we share what we share through these stories. It's the assurance that the Dharma continues. We hear it, we share it, and on and on. Please join me in Gassho. The river flows continuously, but the water flowing now is not the same water that flowed yesterday. The flow of the universe is the same. All things must change. You must all continue to put effort into realizing this so that you do not get left behind in this changing world. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda. All right. Thank you.
Please stand for the Gatha and the White Book. We are one on pages 150 to 152.
Listen to Amida,
you, Reverend Dennis, for your message. And we'd also like to thank Brian and Fletcher for the YouTube, Jackie, Dorothy, and Lenny for the flowers, and organist Lenny, and to those all who brought refreshments. Are there any newcomers here today? Would you like to stand and introduce yourself, please? Welcome and thank you for coming to our service. Announcements we have next Sunday, February 16th is a family service. Sunday, February 23rd is a family service and Ask Reverend Dennis. There will be a documentary film after the service, Alternative Facts, The Lives of Executive Order 9066, in observance of the Day of Remembrance. Does anyone else have any other announcements? Okay. It is also Birthday Sunday.